Welcome to Coin Explorer. What I'm about to tell you could change the way you look at pocket change forever. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could be worth millions of dollars. Yes, millions. Not a diamond, not a gold bar, but a simple-looking, silver-toned coin. The 1990 South African 2 Rand. Sounds unbelievable, right? But the world of numismatics, the world of rare and collectible coins, is filled with surprises, secrets, and hidden treasures. And this coin, the 1992 Rand, is one of those astonishing stories. It may look ordinary at first glance, but beneath its dull shine lies a story of history, mystery, and possibly fortune. So before you dismiss that old jar of change at the back of your drawer or overlook the battered coins sitting in your granddad's collection, think again. Because that one coin, yes, that one, might just be the key to a life-changing discovery. Stay with me, because today we dive deep into the legend of the 1990 South African 2 Rand, a coin that's capturing global attention, turning heads at international auctions, and making collectors everywhere ask, "Do I have one too?" Let's start with the basics, the surface. The 1990 South African 2 Rand coin is deceptively simple. On one side, it bears the proud and majestic image of a kudu, a large African antelope with long, spiraling horns. The kudu's portrait is strong, dignified, and iconic, symbolizing not just wildlife, but the resilient spirit of South Africa. Turn the coin over, and you'll find the country's official coat of arms, flanked by 2 elegant springboks and topped with a lion crest. Below it, etched in clear font, is the year, 1990. That's the magic number. The year that changed everything. But if that's all there is, then why the hype? Why the million-dollar speculation? Well, like many treasures, the true value isn't just in how it looks, but in its story, its rarity, its imperfections, and the history it represents. A nation in transition. To understand why this coin is so special, we need to travel back in time. The year was 1990. South Africa was at a crossroads. The apartheid regime, a brutal system of racial segregation and oppression, was beginning to collapse under international pressure and internal resistance. The world watched as, on February 11th, Nelson Mandela walked free after 27 years in prison. It was a day that shook the globe and ignited a wave of change. 1990 wasn't just another year. It was the beginning of a new chapter, a time of political upheaval, national hope, and seismic transformation. And right in the middle of it all, the South African Mint was striking coins. These coins weren't just money anymore. They were symbols. They were time capsules of a nation on the edge of rebirth. The 2 Rand coin minted in this year, 1990, became more than currency. It became a silent witness to a revolution. Some believe this is why certain 1992 Rand coins are now rumored to be worth millions. Because they're not just metal. They're history you can hold in your hand. Rare variants and mysterious minting. But there's more to this story than historical significance. As with all great coin tales, the devil is in the details. You see, rumors have long swirled among collectors about strange anomalies in the 1992 Rand coins. Some report die errors, where the image is struck incorrectly due to a flaw in the minting die. Others point to off-center strikes, double stamping, or subtle differences in the kudu's horn shape, the edge reading, or even the alignment between the obverse and reverse sides. What makes these variations so exciting? Well, in the world of numismatics, errors equals rarity, and rarity equals value. Only a tiny fraction of coins ever have these anomalies, and even fewer survive in good condition. So, if a collector finds a 1992 Rand with one of these rare traits, and it's well preserved, the bidding war begins. Some versions of the coin have been discovered with unusually sharp detail, suggesting they were among the earliest strikes from a new die. These are known as first strike specimens, and they are highly sought after. Others seem to show experimental composition elements, slightly different coloration or weight, suggesting they may have been test pieces, accidentally released into circulation. The South African Mint has never officially confirmed the release of any special variant. But that only fuels the mystery. What if, just what if, a handful of test coins or error coins slipped through the cracks during one of the most unstable years in South Africa's modern history? Coin collectors going crazy. In the last few years, as word about the 1992 Rand has spread, demand has exploded. Online forums are filled with passionate collectors comparing notes, sharing pictures, and analyzing tiny details. Auction houses have begun featuring these coins in high-profile events, with some examples fetching jaw-dropping bids. And coin grading services like NGC and PCGS are seeing more and more submissions of 1992 Rand coins, each one hoping to be the next million-dollar discovery. One collector in Canada reportedly bought a lot of old African coins at a pawn shop for under $50. Among them, a nearly uncirculated 1992 Rand, later graded MS-67. Experts estimate its value could exceed six figures. Others have whispered about seven-figure valuations, depending on unique features and provenance. The thrill is real. The hunt is on. The devil is in the details, identifying a rare 2 Rand. So how can you tell if your 1992 Rand coin is the rare kind? What separates a life-changing find from a common coin? Let's break it down. First, let's talk metal and weight. The standard 1992 Rand coin was made from nickel-plated copper, weighing approximately 7 grams and measuring 23 millimeters in diameter. But certain coins from that year appear to have a slightly different color tone, more silver-like with a brighter sheen. Could these be test strikes using alternative metal compositions? Some collectors believe so. Second, die alignment. Flip your 1992 Rand coin vertically. The head and tail sides should align in a standard coin alignment, i.e., when one side is upright, the other is too. But some rare errors show what is called metal alignment, where the reverse is rotated. This subtle variation is extremely rare and extremely valuable. Third, the kudu details. Look closely at the animal on the obverse. In some variants, the detail in the horns, the ear, or even the neck is sharper or slightly shifted, suggesting a different die was used or misaligned. These inconsistencies are what make the difference between a $2 coin and a $200,000 treasure. Finally, inspect the edge. Most 1992 Rand coins have reeded edges, those fine ridges running around the side. But once in a blue moon, an edge comes out smooth or partially reeded, a sign of a serious minting error. These clues are your map. Your magnifying glass is your compass. And your patience? That's your gold mine. The power of grading, turning coins into cash. Now, let's say you've found a 1992 Rand coin that looks promising. Maybe the shine is different, or the kudu's eye seems oddly shaped, or the edge is smooth. What next? Get it graded. In the coin world, grading is everything. It's the official evaluation of a coin's condition, authenticity, and rarity, typically done by internationally recognized organizations like NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. They'll examine your coin under microscopes, weigh it, measure it, check for wear, luster, strike quality, and any errors. They'll then assign it a grade, from poor to mint state, MS-60 to MS-70. And here's the kicker. A coin graded MS-66 or higher, with a known error or unusual feature, can easily skyrocket in value. Some collectors only deal in slabbed coins, coins sealed in tamper-proof holders with their grade printed on top. One verified, slabbed 1992 Rand coin with an error and a high grade? That's your ticket to the big leagues. Lucky finds, true stories from collectors. You might be thinking, sure, this sounds great, but do real people actually find these coins? Yes, and the stories are wild. Case number 1. The inherited fortune. A woman in Pretoria inherited a coin collection from her grandfather, a railway worker. Among dozens of dusty bags of coins, she discovered 3 1992 rand coins. 2 were standard, but one was unusually shiny, with a strange minting line through the kudu's chest. She submitted it for grading. It came back as an MS-68 mint error. Within months, collectors from Europe were bidding over $75,000 for it. Case number 2. The pawn shop miracle. In Durban, a retired military veteran wandered into a pawn shop and bought a tin of mixed coins for 150 rand, about $8. Among them was a nearly pristine 1992 rand with double reading on the edge, a rare error. Graded MS-65, it fetched over 1.2 million rand at a Johannesburg auction. Case number 3. The schoolboy jackpot. A 15-year-old boy in Cape Town brought home change from a tuck shop. His father, a coin enthusiast, spotted the 1990 date and checked it. It had a rotated die. One side was upright while the other was nearly sideways. The family sent it for grading. Value, estimated $120,000. So yes, these coins are out there, and people are finding them. Beware of fakes, the dark side of demand. But with great value comes great risk. The market for rare coins, especially when the value hits 6 or 7 figures, attracts counterfeiters. Fake 2 rand coins, often made from silver-colored metals and artificially aged, have begun appearing online. Some even mimic errors by manually damaging coins to fake a minting defect. Here's how to protect yourself. Only buy from reputable dealers. Insist on graded slabbed coins from NGC or PCGS. Avoid deals that seem too good to be true. Watch for unnatural damage. Genuine mint errors have a specific look. Fake ones often show tool marks or unnatural cuts. If you're a seller, get your coin authenticated first. And if you're a buyer, always verify provenance and certification. Tips for aspiring coin hunters. Think you might want to join the hunt? Here are 5 essential tips. 1. Check your change regularly, especially coins from the early 90s. 1990 is key. 2. Invest in a good magnifying glass or loupe. You'll need it to spot micro errors. 3. Learn the lingo. Terms like obverse, reverse, planche error, and strike-through will come up a lot. 4. Join online forums and Facebook groups. The South African numismatic community is passionate and surprisingly helpful. 5. Store coins properly. Use coin flips, albums, or plastic holders, and never clean them. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value instantly. The legacy, symbolism, and future value. So far, we've unpacked the coin's potential to change lives, its subtle indicators of rarity, and how to spot a hidden gem sitting quietly in your drawer. But now, let's zoom out. Because to truly understand the power of the 1990 South African 2 rand coin, we need to look at the legacy it carries and the symbolism etched into its metal surface. This is not just a coin. This is a symbol of a nation at the brink of monumental change. The year 1990 is one of the most defining in South Africa's history. Just months into the year, Nelson Mandela was released from prison after 27 years. The political tides were turning. Apartheid was beginning to crumble. For many South Africans, the 2 rand coin from that very year became more than currency. It became a quiet witness to history in the making. The obverse side of the coin features the coat of arms used from 1910 until 2000, a traditional heraldic design that represents unity, authority, and the complexity of the South African identity during that time. At the bottom, the year 1990 stands frozen like a timestamp marking the moment the old world began to give way to the new. The reverse side? A powerful image of the kudu antelope, elegant and majestic. The kudu has always represented grace under pressure, strength in stillness, perhaps unintentionally capturing the spirit of a people preparing to rise from oppression. It's subtle, but it's poetic. And that's what makes this coin more than just a collector's item. It's a cultural relic. Collectors and historians alike recognize this symbolism. That's why coins like the 1992 Rand are beginning to attract attention not only from numismatists, but also from museums, heritage institutions, and even political memorabilia collectors. The value of this coin isn't just tied to a minting error or a die crack, it's tied to the soul of a nation in transition. And here's where things get even more interesting. In recent years, as the demand for rare African coins has surged globally, the 1992 Rand has climbed to near legendary status in certain numismatic communities. Online forums, private collector groups, and high-end auctions have all reported record interest in this particular coin, especially specimens in mint state condition or those with unusual features, like double strikes, off-center images, or edge irregularities. Even without a visible minting flaw, the historical backdrop alone makes this coin a prized possession. Combine that with potential errors, low surviving numbers, and its symbolic meaning, and you've got a perfect storm of value. It's no wonder some experts are now placing the rarest examples in the category of million-dollar coins. Of course, you won't find that printed in an official mint catalog. The South African Mint hasn't issued a formal statement assigning massive value to the 1992 Rand. But in the coin world, market demand and collector sentiment often outrun official estimates. And right now, the sentiment is glowing. So, what does this mean for you? It means opportunity. It means that right now, today, there's a chance that in a shoebox, a drawer, or an old jar of coins in your family's house could be a life-changing discovery. That humble 2 Rand from 1990 could very well be your ticket into a world of high-value collecting, historical prestige, and perhaps even financial transformation. But it also means responsibility. You see, once you understand the power behind something as small as a coin, you begin to appreciate its story, its weight, its importance. These aren't just bits of metal. They are storytellers, witnesses to our past, carriers of identity. That's why coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a form of preservation. It's about honoring history, paying attention to detail, and seeing value where others see nothing. And if you've watched this far, chances are you're one of those people. A seeker, a believer in possibilities, maybe even a future coin legend yourself. So here's what you do next. 1. Search your old coins. Look through every South African 2 Rand you can find. Focus on 1990. Examine the edges, the shape, the font, the kudu image, and the coat of arms. Compare, research, and document. 2. Use magnification. Sometimes the tiniest minting flaws or die anomalies can be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. A loop or coin microscope is your best friend. 3. Get it graded. If you think you found something special, don't guess. Send it to a professional grading service like NGC or PCGS. A high-grade certified coin is the golden ticket to serious value. 4. Protect it. Store your coin properly in a protective holder or slab. Keep it away from moisture, excessive handling, or anything that could damage its surface. 5. Stay informed. Join online coin forums. Follow rare coin auctions. Educate yourself on the numismatic market. Knowledge is the key that unlocks value. Now let's dream for a second. Imagine pulling out a 1992 Rand coin from your drawer tonight. It's got a slight error, maybe an off-center strike or a faint doubling in the lettering. You get it graded, and it comes back MS-66. A collector across the world sees it, recognizes its historical importance, and offers you a sum so large it changes everything. That's not just fantasy, that's the reality for some people. Because once in a while, ordinary people find extraordinary things, and when they do, it reminds all of us that magic still exists, in pockets, drawers, and forgotten jars. That even the smallest object can hold the biggest story. So here's your final takeaway. Coins like the 1990 South African 2 Rand are more than currency. They are legacy holders, symbols of transformation, and vessels of value, both historical and monetary. If you own one, treat it like treasure. If you find one, investigate it like a detective. And if you don't have one yet, start looking. Because who knows? The next coin you touch might just be worth more than a car, more than a house, maybe even more than a fortune. Thanks for watching, Coin Explorers. If this journey into the story of the 1992 Rand coin inspired you, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with anyone who might have a forgotten stash of coins waiting to be explored. And remember, always check your change. Because in the world of coins, the next miracle might already be in your hands. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and never stop believing in small things with big stories.